Yes. Welcome, everyone. If you're watching live, of course, that means it's noon Eastern time on a Wednesday, which always, at least since 2018, has been time for the High Noon Hemp Show. You may hear the sirens in the background heralding the arrival of the High Noon Hemp Show as they do on the first Wednesday of every month, just for us, not for any other reasons like testing or of air raid sirens or whatnot or weather bulletins. It's for the High Noon Hemp Show. Trust me, don't look it up. We're in many places, of course. You can find us on Facebook, the Temptations Beach Facebook page. We're also on the Jedi Hemp YouTube channel. And if you're on X or Twitter, follow at Hemptations. I'm Stoner Jesus. I do various things on the interwebs. You can search if you have the Netscape or the AOL or the Bing. He is looking very cool and he loves hemp and he's high above the Hemptations in Northside Beach. How are things this week in the world of Hemptations?
Looking cool and being cool. Two different things. Welcome, everybody, to the High Noon Hemp Show. Pretty status quo in the hemp world right now, so that's probably a good thing.
Indeed.
Go ahead and switch my glasses over so I can actually see.
Yes.
I had my contacts in, so I thought I'd take full advantage of that by wearing my hemp sunglasses. 420. 420 at high noon. Meow. Welcome, everyone, again, to the High Noon Hemp Show. That's right. The alarms are going off. It's the first Wednesday of the month. And you know what else it is? You know what else it is there, Stoner?
I'm sure there's something very important. It's a very important day that's just on the tip of my tongue, but I can't quite remember. But I'm sure you will tell me what day is it, Beach?
Hemp Day. You know that's right, because we're here. So it's got to be Hemp Day. All right. Remember, folks, the FDA has not evaluated this show for safety or efficacy. Sup, Steve?
That's right.
All right. Let's go ahead and do our pledge. Put our hands on there. I pledge allegiance to the hemp fields of America and to the soil in which it is planted. One seed under the sun with responsibility, sustainability, and thrivability for all. So after we do the pledge, I have to say that we have a new viewer who is actually a salesperson that I've spoken with the phone. But he's watched the show and he called the store the other day to talk, and he recited the pledge to me.
That's awesome.
That is high praise. High praise.
Indeed.
I truly appreciated it. I really did. It was cool. It was very cool. So in Ohio, SB 56 is still green. Now, I will have to say that they must have been channeling their inner beach last week when I was on the show, because they literally tabled, well, they voted no on the version. So they're going back and they're supposed to be tweaking it now to see what they're going to do, if they can agree on it. Who knows what happens from here. But again, most of it wouldn't stand, and most of it's still not going to stand. Again, this particular one is just not the one. And they're, they might get to the one eventually. And again, if you're in Ohio, tell them, call them, say, look, hello, sup, look, we we're okay with age restrictions. And that's really, to be honest with you, that's just all. It's just all you should tell the state that should be done. It shouldn't be. I mean, honestly, it shouldn't be a special license. Shouldn't be this, that, and all the other. Should just be you. If you tell me it's 21 and up, in Ohio to sell hemp, and again, they can't say intoxicating hemp. They can't say 21 for intoxicating hemp. They really just have to say 21 and up for hemp, which then, of course, would mean I'd have to card if you want to buy a hemp jacket.
Right.
But there's no way you can't just make up the term intoxicating hemp and then think anybody who sells hemp knows what that even means. even if we do know what that means, it's still too general to go by. I mean, again, and honestly, I don't know. None of us know. They keep including intoxicating hemp in these bills and bans and blah, blah, blahs. Well, the fact of the matter is, nobody knows what intoxicating hemp is because it hasn't been defined. Legally, it has not been defined. Because they don't even know what it really means. They don't even know what should be on the list of intoxicating hemp, for that matter. And again, if they put THC on the top of that list, well, there goes all full spectrum CBD, CBN, CBG, all that. And again, they just can't do it. They cannot do it, and they can't put it under the marijuana policies or laws in the state of Ohio either, because that's redefining what industrial hemp is. And as I've said before, only the federal government has the power to redefine what hemp is. And let's all put a little good vibes out there that they don't.
Yeah.
I think we're still pretty far away from welcome everyone to the High Noon Hemp Show. So as promised, and this is not, I didn't get the picture of my Halloween costume that I really wanted.
Okay.
But here is a picture of me in my Halloween costume. I'll put it up here for a minute. You can try to guess what that is. And of course, that's all hemp. My hat is hemp. My shirt is hemp. My island hemp pants are hemp. My shoes. I contemplated trying to get the right kind of pictures of what it represents. It was a very, very hard costume to manage.
I would think.
It was a very hard costume to manage.
Did you trip at any point?
I never really tripped. I did step on one of those, I think, and kind of divide them. I had them tied together with hemp string, and I did step on one, but only one of the hemp legs came off of there, and so I actually did pretty well keeping it together. But I had it so when my arms were out, there were like 4 rows of the hemp lace hanging down. And then I would wave back and forth just a little bit. Because if you haven't guessed, if you haven't figured it out, I'm seaweed. Yes. Seaweed. That is. And I did win most original costume. Almost everybody at the Halloween party last week. Was it last week? This week? Last week, yeah.
Last week.
That's right. I didn't show my picture last week because I hadn't worn it for Halloween yet, which I actually did not do. That's when I was going to try to get the picture I really wanted to get, of just everything hanging down. Even I think to get a video of me just kind of waving back and forth. So you can see. And what's really funny is I even had a joke ready, and a lady actually. When we were there, I was like, you guys got to guess. And she said kelp. And I had the joke already. If they couldn't guess, I was going to say, I'm not going to kelp you. So I did say to her, I'm not going to kelp you, but you're very, very close.
Oh, my.
So there you have it. Beach as seaweed for Halloween. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Classic.
It was pretty classic. And I still have it kind of all together. And so at some point I may commit to shooting like a little video and just to save all that for prosperity. I have never worn, I've never that I can really remember worn the same Halloween costume ever. You know, seaweed is going to be, and that might be tough to
be retired and see what you get next year. But yeah, you gotta get the people.
Well, I do have an idea of how to reuse it. And that, I mean, I might save it. But I was ready for a lot of people, and someone did guess. Somebody did guess ghillie suit. You know, I kind of figured someone might.
Okay, yeah.
Because it does kind of look that way, and so
not a lot of coverage, not enough coverage for sure.
Not quite enough coverage, but if I did, you know, I might be able to figure it out where I got there. But it's you know, it's just. But I was thinking that then, you know, next year I could come in a ghillie suit, call it like hempy suit or something. I don't know, ghillie hemp. And you know, be a participant in the drug war. But as I said, I think the drug war, at least the cannabis drug war, will have ended this time next year. I'm just going to stick with that prediction. So that's why I probably can't use that as maybe a survivor in the drug war, because I had my hemp ghillie suit on the whole time.
I never saw you.
Me in a big pile of confiscated cannabis, if that would have been the case. I don't know what's going on with my YouTube video, but it's okay. There it goes. All right, back to the show, folks. Back to the show.
Indeed.
So let's do a little product spotlight. Breaking out the winter gear, putting the winter gear on the shelves. Been selling some coats. But here is the Top Hand hat. This is just one of the winter hats that Top Hand hat makes. Top Hand Glove. I'm sorry, Top Hand Glove is the name of the company. I'll get it straight. I've been carrying their stuff for a long time. But this is just one of the hats. They have kind of a beanie style. They have one that's kind of like this, but with a little bill on it. And so, you know, winter here is, today may be officially the last nice day.
Yeah, it's 65 right now, but I'm sure that
will. It's beautiful out today, other than it's windy. Very, very windy, but it's beautiful out, other than, you know, so, but it's, I mean, I saw a low of 25 next week. We'll see if that's true or not, but, you know, I think we're officially trying to get to winter without fall. Mm-hmm. And then last week, I know I showed one of the hemp hoodlamp paperboy hats, and I told you I had other colors, so I thought, you know what, let's just show all the other colors. So here they are. Again, a couple different sizes. They are a fitted hat. A couple different sizes, men's sizes, in these colors. I don't know if I still have some of these maybe listed on eBay. It's very possible that we have some of these listed on eBay. So either way, and this is a very good, you know, another winter, very thick hat, very thick hat to keep your head warm. And then we got some Hempies kids hats, super cute Hempies kids hats, by the way. And you know, they're just pink and blue naturally. I'm not trying to put any color orientation on any sex. These are just the two colors that we have, because I don't believe in color orientation. I'm not even sure if that's a thing, but I think it is. Like the marketing tool of coloring orientation. Like men just cannot possibly be pink, and girls just can't like the color blue.
Right.
I tell you what, man, the mental abuse that marketing tools have put us through. Anyway, and last but not least, you got a top hand hat, top hand glove, top hand hat, glove, scarf. It's a scarf. It's a scarf that matches the hat and matches the other two styles hats that we have. And I don't know if I have it on eBay right now. I might have to go check. I feel like I should. If I don't, then I will be getting some of this top angle product up on eBay. All right, there you have it. 4 from the store on the product spotlight. The one from my door, I've actually been talking about this quite a bit. Not technically an actual hemp product, but it did contain the hemp product, and I ate it. And again, it could have been 30 years ago, close to, probably 29. But I've kept this can again as a part of my, Hemptations museum collection, I suppose, and it's in great shape. I guess I never had it in a window because it's not faded at all. But there it is, hemp nut, the first packaged, mass produced, or nationally available hold hemp seed. I'm guessing, honestly, shelled, as he called it then.
Mm-hmm.
When it's really deshelled. Now it will say hold on on most labels is how they describe that. Richard Rose was, he was again preeminently the leader, the revolutionary, the starter, the man that got it all going when it comes to just hemp seed, hulled hemp seed specifically. I think at the time, and I'm not saying there wasn't other stuff out there. At the time, we were getting roasted hemp seeds, whole roasted hemp seeds as a product. But I'm pretty sure that Richard was the first to do the shelled, and put it out there and make it available for everyone. Started the whole controversy, DEA, in the long term of it all. So there you have it. 4 from the store, 1 from my door. On
Indeed.
the product spotlight here on the High Noon Hemp Show.
Which, of course, brings us to the beachwear segment. Normally in the beachwear segment, we check out the Guinness World Records because Beach has set and holds several very important, very illustrious, if you will, and very epic, even hemp records, whether it's clothing, products, whatever it may be. And as we pointed out many times before, the Guinness World Records, formerly, I guess, the Guinness Book of World Records, now just Guinness World Records, they could not care less. Hemp, cannabis, they think all of that is stupid. Don't contact them. They will ignore you because they think it's dumb. So what do they like to do? What are the records that they like to follow? Now, obviously, I know a lot of Guinness World Records. It's about spectacle. It's always been about spectacles, and it's not always about earth-shattering things. I understand that. And some things are cool, some things are wholesome. Most of them are just dumb and unexplainable and completely unnecessary. I have to do a video here today because while unnecessary, this is kind of, I get the spectacle of it. This is a guy yeeting and catching a gummy bear from one side of a football field to the other. So this guy right here shoots a gummy bear with a slingshot, and a guy at the other end catches in his mouth.
He's moving like he can see it. What's kind of superhuman? I mean, that should be the record itself. Come on.
It's like AI, but apparently Guinness World Records vouches for it. I mean, I don't know how,
There's just, come on. I'm calling BS.
Right?
I just can't see.
It looks like a big gummy bear when it goes in his mouth. It looks fairly big.
That's probably like a high dose THC gummy. You know, we're gonna let that hit the ground, right? I mean, you find a super stoner out there and tell them you're going to shoot a 200 milligram THC gummy from one end of a football field to the other. That guy's catching up.
It's like it's pretty big. I don't.
It has to be huge. I mean, like, yeah.
I also wonder how many outtakes there were with it just like hitting him directly in the face. I'd like to see those.
Yeah, right. I want to see all the failed attempts. Exactly. Like, how many times he walked away with like a gummy, big, huge gummy stuck to the side of his face? Anyway, geez, oh, Pete. And then again, that's not a gummy. I mean, it's technically a gummy because I'm sure that it's made of gummy ingredients.
Right.
But I want to see it being done with a normal size gummy.
So anyway, that's what Guinness World Records cares about. They're not bothering with hemp. They don't have anybody devoted to hemp. It's not on their radar. But I bet they had a whole crew of people there for this world record gummy shooting, catching on the other side of the football field attempt. I'm sure they had a shorter name for it. But basically that's what it was. I'm sure they put the tens of thousands of dollars that production cost to get that video. So good for them. Here we are on a much lower budget, and we're talking hemp and all of the records that Beach has set and holds. And we continue to do that. When I ask Beach one very simple question: what are you wearing, Beach?
So if you're curious, what are you wearing, Beach? Today is a little black on black on black, a little goth. I'm a little gothy. I don't have makeup. No makeup. On top of the old head, there's a fair hemp hat. Those sunglasses are hemp eyewear sunglasses. My jacket is a hemp hoodlam jacket. We got another 2 Jupiters shirt 2 weeks in a row with 2 Jupiters. It may be the only 2 Jupiter shirts that I have. And 2 Jupiters is one of the offshoots of Young Maven and Monastash and all the other things. And so getting nuts with it. Ecolution jeans. All right, just to be clear, those are Ecolution jeans. Ecolution, man, they made great stuff for a long time. Green Springs Technology pen, right there in the old Buccarino where it normally is. Underneath it all is a pair of head case boxers. And those are Hempest socks. You can go to their website and get some socks from them today, I believe, if you want. And then that's a pair of Adidas Sambas. The only non-black on my whole outfit for the most part. A little bit of blue there on my shoes, and I say that that little bit of blue represents UK's win last night in the season opener of the NCAA basketball season for us. There will be a Wednesday. There will be a Wednesday where I get to wear all my favorite Kentucky hemp gear, Kentucky hemp related, Kentucky hemp looking gear, because we play at least one Wednesday game a year, it seems like. So stay tuned
Indeed.
To see that exciting stuff.
And there's Goth Beach.
There's Goth Beach, minus the makeup. But
when do you get the makeup going?
Maybe next week, maybe next year. I'll just be Goth Beach and just wear all black hemp. There
you go. I'm officially voting for next year's Halloween costume to be Goth Beach.
Okay. Now, what the real goal is to remember next year when Halloween is approaching.
No chance.
Remind me. That's what we decided on.
I won't remember next week.
Anybody watching, I'm going to expect weekly reminders. Next year's Halloween
message.
All right, for now, let's go ahead and check out this commercial, and we'll be back with the news.
We got to hold on because I forgot to upload the commercial, so give me 2 seconds.
Oh, no, that's okay.
We'll take 2. Now we will watch the commercial and then see the news.
Suffer from wanting to save the earth? Or a healthy lifestyle? Well, maybe Hemptations is what you need. Hemptations is safe to take in any dose and will not cause horrible side effects. Take when needed for happiness and clean earth. Hemptations is available 7 days a week. Consult your local internet for more information on Hemptations.com. Taking Hemptations includes food, CBD, body products, clothing and accessories, paper, pet goods, and much, much more. There is no cure for wanting hemp. Having Hemptations.
Yes,
Relax.
yes.
Happy beach.
Happy beach. And that one really reminds me, and this is like one of the only commercials that I don't have a copy of. It was a radio commercial, and it was also for Hemptations, but part of the premise was, have you ever driven by Hemptations and said, I need to go in there, and then forgot? Have you ever heard a Hemptations commercial and said, I need to get in there, and then forgot? And it was so good. And again, it's one of the only commercials I don't have a copy of. And the only other one I don't have a copy of is the commercial I did years and years ago about Hemptations burning down. And it was all about, after the police arrived, donut sales in the neighborhoods went up 50%. That was a good one too. But anyway, folks, that's not what you're here for. What you're really here for, maybe, I don't know, you might be here for that, is the news. And we got plenty of it this week. We got some really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. A new study finds melatonin could harm your heart health. And this is the article. Try these 7 sleep alternatives. And, and I've tried to say, if you use melatonin on a semi-regular basis, do some research, because there are other negative side effects that I have seen. This is my personal research of things that show, melatonin is one of those things. It's great to use temporarily, but it's not something you should use on a daily basis. Here's even more proof of that, of course, that now it's not good for the heart as well. Long-term use. So what's number one? CBD oils, gummies, or creams. Okay, and then in the article it says CBD is a safe and effective treatment for insomnia. And of course, again, a lot of our customers use CBD for sleep issues, one way or another. This is something that I've always known and I've always talked about. What I think is interesting is they talk about using creams as something that, you are not going to get the benefits of CBD for insomnia using a cream. Here's why. If you've watched the show, when you use CBD as a topical, it does not get to the bloodstream. That's why it's so effective as a topical, because if you've got soreness, say your hands, and you want to pinpoint that soreness with the CBD, when you put it on your hands, it doesn't go to the bloodstream. So it all stays there. It all gets used where you put it. And so it's not going to make its way into the bloodstream to help with the calming and what it does to make sleep better. And again, it doesn't make you, there's a common myth. It doesn't make you sleepy. The most non-medical way that I can explain it is, it goes to the brain, which has the endocannabinoid receptor system, and it puts your body in a position to get better sleep. The calming parts, even the anti-inflammation parts, if your sleep issues are pain related, all that works. And so it's no surprise that it's number one on the list of alternatives for melatonin. And again, I think there's a big, huge company out there that's now trying to remarket their melatonin medicine as melatonin and CBD. So that also does not surprise me, one way or another. All right. Well, how about a recipe for crispy potato salad? Yes, CBD oils and gummies. And I'm sorry I'm so late to see some of those comments, but yeah, the CBDs and oils work great for sleep issues. So, here again, recipe for crispy potato salad with tzatziki sauce. And I can't pronounce it, but what I love about this is I've actually been looking for a tzatziki sauce because I love it the way it tastes. And this one has 20 grams of hemp in it. I mean, if you wanted to, go ahead and bump that up to 30 grams. I don't know how. I doubt it would mess the recipe up that much. I mean, 30 grams is a decent amount of protein and vitamins and minerals, omega-6, omega-3, and all those healthy benefits you want to get from it. And so, I look forward to actually possibly making at least the sauce. I don't know. I don't know if I'll go as far as to make the crispy potato salad, although it does look freaking delicious. But I do feel like I want to make some tzatziki sauce, and then dip some hummus in it or whatever. Make some heroes. Either way. So there you have it. Get yourself a screenshot of that, and then the recipe is, again, if you go to Flipboard, if you follow Hemptations on Flipboard, I also have a recipe page on Flipboard where I try to post all these recipes online for you to go and look at. You can also, as I recommend anything, just do a browser search for, specific hemp this recipe, hemp that recipe. Works just as well to find what you are looking for because they all exist. And again, AI searches will probably make it easier to find more.
Yeah.
So we have a guide to the most surprising fall layer in menswear. It's hemp.
Right.
So we'll roll through these. This is Taylor Stitch. This is the Taylor Stitch cotton hemp long sleeve tee. The next one is Buck Mason wool hemp traveler crew. Buck Mason wool hemp traveler crew. How about a little Young Maven? No list would be complete without Young Maven long sleeves. As far as a layer, this was I think last week. And I'm not saying that this article was out there because on last week's show, I used Young Maven as a layer in my What Are You Wearing? Who knows? I don't know if I encourage this or not. Then you got Patagonia. Patagonia Iron Forge hemp. Now, there's a good chance, and there's a good chance with the Young Maven. I couldn't for sure say. Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. This is the Smart Wool Merino hemp long sleeve. Sorry, I got a little ahead of myself. Smart Wool Merino hemp long sleeve. So this is also what I would guess is a hemp wool combination, which is interesting, which is something I have not seen a whole lot of, to be honest with you. And the special side note of that is, the rumor for a long time is if you found a flag with 37 or less stars on it, chances are it was made out of wool or hemp. I should have just known back then, and maybe there were some back then that even put them together. It's hard to say. All right, now let's take a look at the Patagonia Iron Forge Hemp Canvas Ranch Jacket. That's obviously your outside layer.
Yeah.
Everything else is kind of an inside layer. This one is definitely an outside layer. And there's also a very, very good chance, and I don't know, I'm not saying 100%, but there is a very good chance that has American grown hemp in it as well. And so, and I'm not saying that any of these other ones don't. I have not gone that far to check. I just know that Patagonia started incorporating American grown hemp into their clothing line almost immediately. 2019, 2020, I have a pair of shorts and a hat, I believe, that have American grown hemp in them, made by Patagonia. I think it was now I'm going to have to second question if that's Strider. That might have been to someone else. Either way, let's look at the Todd Snyder hemp cotton overshirt. So here you got at least 3 layers of shirts. You got your long sleeve nothing to go underneath your hemp cotton overshirt, and then you put your canvas ranch jacket on, and that's probably going to keep you pretty warm when you need it to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I do it. You're going to be seeing it. You can go back and watch any of the high noon hemp shows over the winter, and you will see me plenty layered up.
Yeah.
In hemp. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So, no, I think this company is actually in Europe. They're called Lavie and Creation Bauman, and these are curtains. Now, what I really love about these curtains, the tagline for these curtains is basically made from leftovers to make you happy. And so they're actually making these curtains out of scrap material. And they don't know where the scrap material came from, where the hemp material was being used or what it was being used for originally. Was it being used for curtains originally, and then this was what was left over, so they made curtains out of it? I honestly don't. But I love the look. If they were in America and I could go to Target and buy them, I would in a heartbeat. There's no doubt about it. That's the goal. And I just through Target, I'm not getting paid by Target. I don't get paid by anyone. But Hemptations does pay me to be here. But I'm just generally speaking that I would love to see these at the big box stores for cheap. They may be on Amazon. I don't know. What was funny is I truly think that, and maybe that's what it was, and this could be it, because I saw some reference to out of stock. So maybe the material was what was left over from curtains they had made from the material that they had sold out of. And so I don't know for sure, but it's a great idea. Super easy to make hemp curtains. Mary's made multiple hemp curtains. We had some hemp canvas curtains at the house, and then just kind of some hemp drawstring curtains that she made on windows and whatnot over the years. So I like it. So here is the interior of the World Heritage Center. And this is the World Heritage Center at Wadensee. And what the World Heritage Center does is it's basically a place, that has education, does research, and then also is based on wildlife care. And this is in Netherlands. This is the World Heritage Center, Wadensee in the Netherlands. But a lot of, if not most of, the interior materials came from hemp and seashells, locally sourced. So how cool is that? The one thing that I always thought, and I have a picture somewhere, and once again I'll have to go back and show it. But one of the neatest things when I was in Amsterdam is I went through the botanical gardens in Amsterdam, right in the middle of town. And on the outdoor botanical garden walk, they had a hemp bush. Just like growing, just a hemp bush. And again, they refer to it as hemp, and this, that, and all the other. And so I really thought that was neat, for more than one reason. But, so this doesn't surprise me either. A company called the Herd Company, HURD, Herd. And again, as you know, herd is not a word, but it is often used in hemp because that's what we call it. Somehow, I'm going to, like, who started the word herd to describe the outside stock? I know I wasn't the first to use it. I remember when it was very shortly after that I actually went to look it up to see if it was a word in the dictionary, and it is not. I have not checked recently, but I do not believe that it has been added. I do believe that, eventually they will have to add it because it is generally becoming the term to describe that stalk that we use with hempcrete. That stalk, that part of the stalk that we can use to make paper with, that part of the stalk that we can make viscous hemp with. Now, Young Maven has already had a line of what we would call viscous hemp. This is taking the herd, and basically the best way that I can describe this as unscientifically as possible is you're making a synthetic fiber out of the herd, which I knew, could be done because it supposedly has been done. And this is why I do believe we could replace a lot of the synthetic clothing like polyester. Polyester is the big one. We might be able to replace polyester even with hemp. And so they're a startup. They're going to make viscous hemp, or a synthetic-like material, which I'll be wearing I'll wear one of my Young Maven shirts. That's viscous hemp. There's some controversy over that, and I don't want to get into it. But we'll see how, I'm looking to the future, not the past. But this company is working with 4 companies to make samples of clothing out of this material. I can only guess who some of these may be, but I don't. All I would be guessing, and we'll see if any of the names that I think on this list are some of these companies that are going to go ahead and make at least some samples, and then they'll see that they really do want to go to production with this, and then hopefully once again. So this is a byproduct. This is a byproduct of growing hemp for seed or fiber. So there's no reason why that it shouldn't be cheap. It should be cheap. It should be cheap to buy. Now it's going to take a lot, but in the same sense, this is exactly the direction we need to go. Find a use for the whatever it is you're not growing hemp for. If you're growing for fiber, then find a use for that herd. If you're growing for grain, then find a use for the fiber and the herd in your grain crop. It truly is by nature a triple crop, a triple biomass crop. You have seed biomass, you have fiber biomass, and you have stalk biomass. That herd, sometimes referred to as shiv. But they all these things. Now we can look to not just replacing cotton, all the cotton, which is destroying the planet and is a terrible, terrible thing to close ourselves in, but we can, replace the synthetic clothing, which is also terrible and destroying the planet and putting nanoplastics everywhere, with hemp as well. Yeah. So again, there's this. I don't know how many times I can say it, but what can't this plant do? And I have known about the viscous hemp, and so far, Young Maven is the only company that has put out viscous hemp material. All right. Meet Luke Evans. Luke Evans is the founder and CEO of E3 Agricultural, and his goal is to revive every cotton gin in America with hemp. And he is going to start in Taylor, Texas. So here he is at a cotton gin that he's found. And again, just like I reported on last week, a company has figured out how to get hemp fiber woven into a millimeter, a consistent size that you can put it right into, say, a cotton gin. Or, it'd be interesting to see what I might have to go back and even look into a little bit of what the cotton gin did. Because the cotton gin put it all together, and then make the long fibers. Is that, I guess that's how that probably worked. So does that mean he's going to be able to put the hemp in one end and out come long strands? I don't know what his real goal is there, but it sounds like a great idea. I'm behind him 100%. Lucas, you have my backing 100%.
That's right.
I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you.
Good job.
Go make it happen.
That's right.
Don't be a sayer, be a doer.
Indeed.
Anyway, that's the world we're looking for. That's the world I'm looking for right there. So article called Anti-Aging Foods for Glowing Skin After 50.
Nice.
Am I glowing? Do I glow? I don't know if I turned the light on to give myself a little shine, as I said earlier. Am I glowing?
Maybe.
People say, I don't know if I can believe them or not, that, I look pretty good for my age, but a lot of people are just being nice.
No one says it to me.
But anyway, number 2 food. Yep, it's hemp. Of course it is. Of course it is. Again, all of the things that are in hemp food that make it one of the best, if not the best, green vegetative matter, or I should just say vegetative. It makes the body healthy inside, makes the body healthy outside. The protein, the omegas, the vitamins, all that stuff is going to make your skin look better. And if you wanted to go one step further with targeting, crows, if you're really worried about that stuff, then you just add some CBD to your hemp oil and you're really going to get somewhere. So, but yes, of course it's going to be good for the skin. And yet another reminder of that is World Vegan Day, and I don't know when it is, but they posted the 10 game-changing vegan proteins for energy, strength, and vitality. That is number 8, hemp. And of course it is. And I am so glad. I'm so glad that the World Vegan Day 2025 movement put hemp on their list. Again, I would not, if I would have looked at that list and hemp wasn't on it, I would have been, you aren't real vegans. You ain't looking out for no vegans. You don't put hemp on the list. I mean, to me, honestly, it's the number one food. I truly believe the number one food for a healthy vegan is hemp. Do the research if you're a vegan and you really want to know. But, vegans, vegetarians stand to benefit the most by hemp being in as much food as possible that we can eat. We all stand to benefit. Every one of us will benefit from hemp being in foods. It doesn't matter what it is. From chips to bread to gravy, whatever. There would be no reason not to add 30 grams of hemp seed to your gravy, your oatmeal, anything. It's once again endless. And I know I promised some more hemp nut recipes because that book has so many and I keep forgetting. But I'm going to start peeling those out because there are so many different foods that Richard put in the back of that book 30 years ago to be made out of hemp. I'm going to get him to reissue the book just for the recipes. Richard, are you watching? he ain't got time to watch my show. He knows more than I do. Well, he knows as much as I do. He knows more than I do about hemp food. That I would not question. Anyway, so I'm gonna leave you with this, which I think is just kind of more interesting than anything else. Apparently, some scientists have made CBD from something that's in caraway seeds. And so, again, this is a synthetic procedure, and we, I don't want to look at it as a bad thing because it's synthetic. The one thing that I thought was interesting is they're like, they can do this and there's no THC. And my first thought is, what a ridiculous waste of time. Because you can get no THC CBD from CBD, more or less. Once you've isolated the CBD, then there is no anything else. And I think that the most ridiculous part of this is they think that we don't have enough CBD to begin with.
Right.
And so we need to make it out of something else in a lab.
With a shortage.
Which is absurdly not the case. It cannot be any cheaper. Than just isolating CBD from cannabis to take a bunch of caraway seeds and make enough CBD out of them to, put a line of whatever out there. And again, it just goes back to the fact that you can make anything out of anything if you have I guess you just have to have the right genetic makeup somehow, some way to get that. I don't know how you get that the science of synthetic is, it's quite amazing in all honesty. Apparently it does not have to be a bad thing. A lot of us, especially those of us eco-friendly people, have kind of a negative connotation when it comes to the word synthetic. Most synthetic things were bad. But what hemp has taught me, particularly, one more thing that hemp has taught me is the fact that, synthetic just means taking one thing in a lab and changing it to something else. So if you start with something natural and you change it into something natural, that makes sense. And again, yes, oil is natural. to change it into plastic, to me, is not natural. And so that's the issue there. And I used to have the biggest issue that I used to have with synthetic, anything, whether it's synthetic plastic, synthetic fiber, or anything, was the waste that was created by making these things. Not the products themselves, but the waste. Now the issue is nanoplastics. We have nanoplastics finding them at the tallest of the mountains, the lowest of the seas, in our blood, in our semen, in our breast milk. Plastic. Made from oil. In our blood, in our semen, in our breast milk. What alarms me the most is there's not enough people that are alarmed by the fact that we know this. It's proven. Hemp can take care of it all. Or reduce it by 90 to 80 to 90%. 80 to 90% reduction in all of those harmful products by using hemp. No matter what it is. No matter what it is. And it's coming. Hopefully, 5 years from now, we'll be as close as we can be. But, we're 10 years away. We're 10 years away, honestly, from making a dent. We're 10 years away from making a dent in the fiber industry alone. We're 10 years away from making a dent in the construction industry alone. We're 10 years away from making a dent in the wood industry. But I'm happy to say we're 10 years away. I mean, for the first 20, 25 years of Hemptations, I wouldn't have even predicted how far we were away from making a dent in all of the large markets that we need to make a dent in to save the planet, have better products, and just be better humans, period. Healthier, better humans. Isn't that the goal? Shouldn't that be the goal? I know that was my goal 30 years ago when I decided to start a store that would eventually have the largest selection of hemp on the planet. And, that's why I'm here every week, just trying to get everybody else on board. All the billions, 7.8 billion. I don't even know what the human population is. I can't keep up. We're probably up to 8 billion at this point. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm close. But
enough.
We're going in the right direction, and we're exponentially getting there faster. We're finally on the path that gets the end result more possible. Am I saying we're going to get there? I don't know. Do I believe we need to get there? I do. If not, it's not for my generation or even my son's generation, but for his kids' generation. If we don't do something, if we don't all get on board, especially with using hemp and being hemp, then it's probably not going to end up all great. Because that generation or their kids' generation are going to grow up without products made of oil one way or another.
Yeah.
They're going to grow up without concrete being made out of the sand that it's being made out of now, one way or another. They're going to grow up in an environment that there will be no viable agricultural soil left if we continue to go the direction that we're going, as the predictions. You know, and again, I don't think that any of these predictions are doomsday predictions. They've known that they've proposed that the amount of oil is not infinite and will run out eventually if we continue to consume it the way we consume it. We've proposed that the fertility of soil will be eliminated, for a while now. And again, they're not saying tomorrow. They're just saying it's going to happen if we continue on the path that we're going. And all we need to do is just veer off the path. I mean, if we continue to veer off the path towards hemp now, the path will be a great path in 10 years, 20 years. It'll be a greener path. It'll be a healthier path. Be able to drink the water in the stream on that path. Pick the fruit off the trees on that path. Breathe easier on that path. I mean, the goal, and I don't think this is asking too much from humanity, is clean air, clean food, clean soil. And of course, if we have clean soil, then we have clean food. Just clean up the water. Seems simple.
Right.
Once again, not an optimist. I'm a realist. I'm 100% a realist. I'm optimistic about the fact that if we do everything I want to do with hemp, that all of the things that I say will in fact come true. But as a realist, we still have a lot. We have a fur piece to go, but we're going in the right direction. That's all that matters. We're no longer going in the wrong direction, which is what we did for 80 years in this country. All right, folks. Don't really have too many events to talk about today. The medical marijuana meetup, there is not one in November. As you probably found out last night, if you showed up at Mad Tree, there would be one. You may have. We will be having one in December. Now, I do believe in December it may be the second week of December on a Tuesday, but I'll get that verified and let everybody know for sure when the medical marijuana meetup holidays with a Z is going to happen. Gathering is going to happen. All right, I didn't have any questions. Plenty of thoughts. So we'll call it a day. Remember, everybody, reduce, reuse, recycle, replant, remake. Having Temptations.
See y'all next week.